Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Crypt Files, your once weekly follow-up to the hit, the In at the End D&D podcast. We just met longtime urban legend of Quilton Bay.
Turns out, not a bad guy.
Yeah,
turns out, yeah.
Actually,
at this point in the story,
I personally love how the consistent canon of our game has been like kids don't get hurt, and in the rare instances that they do in the background, we have a vengeful person who's been pushing those people down cliffs to die and then torturing their souls.
Yeah, and throwing rocks. Yeah,
I do like that. I loved Jenkins. I thought he was fun, and I like that he wasn't actually like a bad person.
Yeah. He's subverted. Think about all of the times we've come and met a bad guy. He's subverted our expectations like every time. We should be used to it, but it's kind of like it's kind of fun to be like, oh, the bad guy that we thought is actually like just a fine normal person.
Yeah,
and like that happened with the hag,
He's
like
Batman.
early on.
Speaking of, what was the motivation behind wanting to get? What was their partner that died?
Belna.
Fringe.
What was the motivation for Perva bringing?
It was
them
probably
back?
just her friend.
Is it just companionship, or was there something more nefarious?
I don't think more nefarious. I think it was just that was a duty that like a mistake that happened, and Perva wants to
felt guilty
fix that
and
mistake.
Right.
Maybe she just felt responsible. Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. It was like this is what ended our adventuring career. I'm going to fix this thing that happened.
Right.
I'm not going to move on past it. I'm going to fix the problem.
Did she feel guilty? Like maybe her dying was kind of her fault.
I think so.
Okay.
Because I haven't like written an adventure.
Sure, I'm sure you don't have like a full thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of highlights.
But I feel like her and Rav were the like brash ones. They were the ones that were wanting to do all the crazy stuff, and so their risky behavior is what
cost
one
of their friends.
or at least that's what Perva thinks.
And you can almost see too, like just in our interactions with her and her dress, her arms and armor, her gigantic bag of money, her detailed ledger. Like she's also like seems like a person who has like high expectations of herself, and probably because she's been a high performer her whole life, and like this thing happened. It happened with her team. It's like, it's one of those things like she can't let go of.
It's like perfectionism.
Yeah.
Like I can't let go of this one thing. And
Exactly.
It would be Ace if Simon died.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking like there's some similarities, but in the dynamic like of their group as it was in our group now. Like,
that's true.
And that's what I kind of want to set up with, a Ghoul was always like, what happens if an adventurer retires?
Right.
That's cool. And I'm like, well, now that we're like expanding, like let's just have this look at what your group would be in the future.
Right.
Let's like have a visceral, like something we can tackle in game of like, here's an adventuring group after adventure.
Yeah.
And you're an adventuring group starting adventure. And is like, I just wanted to put those two things in the same space to just see what happens.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully in some sort of macabre happy ending, Perva and Belna are now together and socializing
Yeah.
in whatever way they want.
It pisses me off that Ace's like weird motherly figure searching is like partially towards Gould. Like that bugs me.
That bugs a lot of us. Really. Like the whole mother searching.
This thing that bothers you is something you did.
that I created.
So you could just,
But
not.
Beyond my control now.
It is.
I can't help it. The character's
I'm
taking over.
chained
not
to the
part of
character.
my- It is Ace's.
I sit down and I am possessed by Ace.
It is the way I imagine.
With Old Man Jenkins, I did want to subvert that, but I also, I don't want to run a story about like,
Yeah. I was
here's
nervous.
the pedophile, and it's like, no, I'm going to make him Chris Hansen.
Yeah.
Let's flip this, and then just gossip got away,
Yeah.
and
I
the
love
story
that.
got turned, and
And imagine the
he was
fan
just in there
mail.
He was
Merkin people.
surprisingly okay with the way the stories were written after.
The way I was
but why wouldn't
imagining
you
it was like
be?
he did all of this in secret. Because he was just
So it's
murdering
just like,
people.
well, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
In his head, is like what he was doing was in some way wrong, but
So he's
It was
okay
like-
with any sort of maybe negative.
he was okay with him taking that.
Okay.
Like, you know what? If I get sent to hell, that's fine.
Yeah.
Being
I'm
sent to
making
hell.
sure these people are punished.
Being sent to hell is different than everyone
But
from a town
he's dead,
calling you a pedophile.
He's dead, and he knows.
In memoriam.
You know, it's like he knows that he probably had a net positive. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I do kind of think it'd be fun, like just the act of like imagine not going that route with Old Man Jenkins, and like we handle it poorly, and like the fan mail rolls in, and they're like, "You were too soft on the pedophile," you know. It's like, well, no, we really despise his actions, and we don't condone it, but
Yeah. Oh boy.
But anyway, he handled that for us by putting them into a crystal prison where they just howl in agony the whole time.
Because the idea is, if they, if their souls go beyond into the next life,
then their torture is over.
Then they end up in the 9 hells, and their souls get turned into like slugs, and then a demon shows up and takes them, and then that's it. And
he wants their personhood
Old Man
to
Jenkins
suffer.
wants torture.
Yeah.
And
it makes sense that he employed Torog's little tricks.
Absolutely. And because that's the thing with Torog is all about torture and punishment and pain.
Yeah.
Not for any reason.
Just punishment.
He's
for the sake of it.
The Cthulhu of like we matter not.
He is the neutral evil of the evil.
If I had used my chain, would that have made a difference with a disadvantage or no?
No. That was just
What was their disadvantage? What was that about?
From being blurry.
Ethereal
that's just the
blurriness.
ethereal. That's the blurred.
Oh, okay.
In essence, it's a way of mitigating their AC and hit points as part of that equation.
Yeah, you mentioned that. That's kind of their defense is the disadvantage.
They have the disadvantage, but they have a 14 AC. They're easy to hit.
Because they are essentially coming in and out of our plane, correct?
Right.
And I was trying to figure out, while everyone was chatting, I was trying to figure out if fairy fire, like how would that work on somebody when they change planes? And it seems like the consensus is if it's cast on the material plane, it's on them, and it doesn't go away when they shift to the ethereal.
Right.
But it's not active in the ethereal. When they come back into the physical, it's somehow...
I mean, it would be. Mechanically, it would be. These aren't shifting between planes.
They're just going into the wall.
They're just able to move through things,
right.
is how it is. Because there are other creatures that can shift into the ethereal and come out. And like if you fairy fire someone, that doesn't go away.
Right.
Until it goes away. So
some people were saying like, oh yeah, you can't cast it on them when they're in the ethereal.
Unless you were in the ethereal plane.
Unless you're on the same plane.
I mean, unless you can see them.
Yeah.
Really.
Huh.
We had a session of combat where I didn't rage. That was kind of weird.
Yeah.
That was it seemed like it was an accident, right?
No.
You intentionally?
I intentionally didn't want to rage because.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they were popping in and out of shit, and it was like, yeah, I probably
would have been a waste.
Yeah, may not get an attack opportunity.
I see.
But it was weird to not rage.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's you got to carry like a big holster bag of like mice or rats or whatever, so that way like
that's
when
right,
you can pop
you
it
can
out
attack one.
Well, I had this really cool family ring for a while that
about a day.
Yeah,
made it so I didn't have to attack stings.
Gosh, that would have been nice, huh?
would have been nice. Yeah. Instead,
then I probably would have raged. Then
what'd you do with that?
It's in the
we gave
ocean
it to
somewhere.
my sister.
Oh, I thought you threw. Oh no, that was the sending stone that we threw into the ocean.
True.
Yeah.
I think
you guys
actually
still have
Val
any sending stones?
threw it.
No,
I don't think so.
No, wait,
we picked
do.
up
We got
another one.
You got some new ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, we got one that goes to Alistair.
Yeah, we have one.
I think you immediately didn't you try to?
Yes. Oh, I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
I forgot
That
about the
sounds
sending
right.
stone shenanigans.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Oh my god.
I got 24 fuck yous I can send.
Yeah, I
If I
think we
make it
have
into one word, it's 50.
Yeah.
I think we definitely have one because remember the idea was like we have to let Alistair know we're coming, and we were thinking about using one of the sending stones to create a diversion of like we're coming, bitch.
You have
And we ended up
grabbed
coming up-
sending stones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we haven't used them.
No.
Just the
when we found them.
Yeah.
That's the last time.
just
we
to
used
see who had them.
them. Yeah, we plan on using them before we attack to make him think we're coming by sea.
The
And we
coolest
came
thing
up-
is I have an
sorry.
orb now that lets me see the warehouses at the dress.
That's honestly,
God damn it.
that's cool.
That could be handy.
I got really excited for a second because I was like, oh, maybe I could put my orb in the bag and then I could see what's in the bag. I was like, nope, wait, that won't work. I was like, Anyway,
I like it, and I like all the gear, the dagger.
I mean,
and the cloak
the gear and the orb.
I want the boots.
They caught somebody trying to steal stuff from him, and they had that full get up. Yeah, the orb of warehouse seeing that they had stolen from a dress queue.
The fact that they got caught with all that gear in action is pretty impressive.
They were some good thieves.
Yeah, and remember how we
enough.
were gonna split the gear, but he said it was a set, and so I gave you my 2 pieces. And
Is that why I have boots that I didn't remember getting?
I want the boots.
Okay.
I want the boots.
Yeah,
even over your muddy boots?
Yes. No, 100%. Those make it so I can pick locks essentially with a kick.
Yeah.
And
That
I have
seems very ace-like,
I have
doesn't it?
advantage on athletic checks when I'm raging, so I could really kick some doors in.
You just run through town at night, unlocking all the doors. All right, guys, we'll be ready in the morning. We get back, all the doors are
D&D
locked.
speedrun glitch.
I'm just like bicycle kicking through the town.
Oh, that's
all right,
funny.
guys. Well, we'll see what we do with these boots next week. We'll be back with your regularly scheduled episode of The End at the End. Visit dndpodcast.org for more information. Until then, grab your sword and keep on adventuring.